What's up, everybody? Welcome. Welcome to episode 3 of a Thursday Night Throwdown. We are going to discuss big free agents that the New York Jets could go after. I'm going to rebuttal Green Bean and his repetitive attack on me. Going to have a guest come in. We're going to have a little free agency preview, look at some names that we could go after, and have ourselves a fun time right after this.
And now, welcome to Pride and Chaos.
Welcome to the darkest year of our adventures. Oh, yeah!
And now, give it up for Jeremy and Nick.
Now you scared me.
And as usual, Nick is wrong.
Why are you the way that you are? God, I can't stand you.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Whoa, that was cool.
What's up, everyone? How you guys doing? Fun little show over there with Green Bean tonight, the thick of it, with Gunny, Tigo. Let's say what's up to some of you outstanding citizens. Johnny with the winner. Pouring rolls. No complaint. You're right. It's a heck of the way to start the show. I like it. Coming out with some positive energy, a positive statement that we should all get behind. I like that. That's the message that we want to portray here. Look at Johnny backtracking already. My guy Wildwave is here. What's up, brother? Good to see you, sir. Mr. Hank G is in the house. Our hero Harlan is here. Good to see you, brother. Aunt Jets 82, my man. Oh, what a great day that was when we got Quinnen. It's one of the few days that I think we could say we got it right. We got it right when we took Quinnen. That bless you, thank you. Ooh, that was such a great moment. I love Quinnen the player. For those of you that don't know, I am the biggest defensive guy. I want defense. I want to beat the crap out of everybody. I want to stop what you're doing. I coach defense in Pop Warner, coached in the Pop Warner Super Bowl. I love defense. I don't know what I like more, though. Quinnen, the defensive player, or Quinnen, the human being? Quinnen, the human being, man. I would love, like my personality with Quinnen's, I would love to hang out with Quinnen Williams. Sit down, eat with them, and then just call Jeremy and be like, you suck because you live on the West Coast and you can't sit here with me and Quinnen Williams. You guys know he got attacked by a Rottweiler? Not attacked. I don't want to say attacked. Jeremy was at a dog park, and a Rottweiler at full speed came into him, and like he thought he broke his shin. So any of you that like to do Photoshop, if you could Photoshop a Rottweiler attacking Jeremy and send it to me, that would be fantastic. You don't even need to have the last super chat. You send me that, you get on the show automatically. Damn it, we have breaking news. We have breaking news. Knobcraft texts me today. It tells me that he's taking a girl on a date to a midget wrestling show, and he is there live now. Sent me a picture of the ring. Knob, when you say that they're late, would you say that they're a little behind? Thank you. Thank you. I deserve that one. Scott Foster, I don't know if Gator knows who I am yet, man. That's what I'm hearing. You know you make it when Gator knows who you are and does something about you. So I'm one day, mama. One day. Snowball is awake for now. Screw you, Snowball. You should be melting this time of year. I don't want you here. Go away. Melt away, Snowball. I'm kidding, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining. Scott Foster is here. Scott, smoke them, chew them, whatever you got, Scott. Tin Star, my man, showing up. What's up, brother? Where's Dakota? Well, Dakota was here last week. He was fighting. He had a feud going on. Dano, welcome. Late. Why are you late? Why are you late, Dean? What else do you have to do? Message 500 times tonight about what are we doing at 10 o'clock. And now you're late? What kind of shit is this? What kind of disrespect you show to the family being late? Hey, Scott, we know how much you love the D. We know you're a big fan of the big D, bro. Yeah, Quincy too. Yeah, you're right. Quincy as well. Quincy as well. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm seeing this comment again. I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. I hope they get there. I need a picture of you taking a selfie with the midgets, but the midgets aren't in the picture. It's just you smiling, like real happy. And then you realize, oh, I'm sorry, you weren't in the picture, and just walk away from them or do video of it. That'd be great. That would be outstanding. Snowball, I didn't even see this comment when I made my "they're a little late" joke. Very good. Very good. I like that we're on the same page. I think I said what's up to Hank. What's up, everybody? How we feeling? How we feeling? Just when I think I say hello to everyone, the super fan is here. Go Jets. Yes, sir. You are correct. 7-minute mark. Pew. Rant time. This week's rant is brought to you by lowering your expectations. The expectations of what the New York Jets are going to do in free agency has to be lowered. I think that everybody thinks that we are going to see the Mike Maccagnan days of free agency. I think people think that we're going to go sign the biggest contracts at tackle, at guard. We don't have the money. We do not have the money. I'm multitasking here because I forgot to send the freaking link to my guest. Give me a moment. Right in the middle of the rant. Well, this week's rant's not getting screen recorded and shared. Well, maybe it would. It shows that I'm human. I'm only human. Nobody knows that part. I don't, at least. I'm only human. So, I think we got to lower expectations, gentlemen. I think we got to bring it down a little bit. I don't think we're going big game hunt. I do not think it's happening. I tell you what I do think is happening, though. I think we're going to find some scheme fits. I think we're going to find some guys that work. I think we're going to find some guys whose skill sets fit what we want to do. And we're going to discuss that. This week's throwdown is a little bit different. Yes, it's a debate show, but we're going to change it up a little bit tonight. And I'm going to bring somebody in right now. And we are going to throw down our predictions on what players could be New York Jets. Mark, we do not speak the negativity and bring that name up. I was going to do an impression of him tonight, but I decided not to. I wanted to keep you people happy. I didn't want to aggravate anybody. I didn't want to put it this way. If I did my impression of Biden, Johnny Jimenez would have full run of the show. He could do whatever he wanted. There would be no restrictions on Johnny. Johnny, this would be your show. We'd all work for you. We wouldn't want to upset you in any way, shape, or form. That's the chat coming to life right there. That's a little tease of behind the scenes. That's a little chat coming to life. We don't say his name. Wild Wave. All right. I like it. Oh, Dane, I'm going to keep you waiting. Dane, Nope, that's it. Sorry, guest. Dano is nervous right now in the chat about who it is. I love teasing him. I was say, well, we're going to bring it in the chat. And when I was a boy in Delaware, Hiroshima, and all of a sudden, Bridges. There you go. That is my incoherent bidding. But to get back to the program, to get back to the introduction, to bring in the man who's going to help me, help you, help the Jets. There's a show on cable called Succession. He is very similar to that show in only one way. He gives himself concussions. My man.
How you doing, Nick?
I love teasing you on when I'm going to bring you in because I watch you get ready and then, nope, I let it go. And I watch you like shrug, like, damn it, I thought that was it. And then you're like ready, and then I go off on something else. Nope, that's not it. That's
good
one
guess,
of my,
by the way, good guess, Dano. He figured it was either me or Tigo. And yeah, Tigo and I clearly have a lot in common. We usually do manage to aggravate half the crowd, and the other half usually agrees with us.
How you doing, pal?
I'm good. You know, this is kind of the weird part of the NFL offseason where it feels like we're just kind of like hanging on. It's like, please, nobody else sign. Please, nobody else sign. Please, nobody else sign. It's like, are we going to sign any of our own guys before they hit the market, you know? Because, yeah, the tampering starts in just a couple of days. It starts on Monday, and then Wednesday is the day when you can start negotiating with players of other teams, start officially announcing the signings. But, yeah, Jets have a few free agents, and I got to tell you, a couple days away, I'm surprised that the Jets have not announced that they're keeping any of their players yet. What do you think about that? Are you surprised at all?
I think it's strategic. I think they have some groundwork laid out, and I think they want to solidify a couple things first and then get to that. You know what I mean? So
yeah, they still got to make sure the uniform release presentation's all taken care of. Everything's in sync there. Yeah, we got to have our priorities in place clearly. Yeah, the Jets, our social media account, we still got to post one photograph every day that'll make us just miss football. I am so far away right now from missing watching Jets football the way this past season went. And of course, when opening day comes, I'll be excited, most likely, as long as there's no serious preseason injuries. But yeah, I am not ready to look back in order to look forward. I want results now to look forward to the future. So,
Dane, am I lagging? I don't think I'm lagging. I'm cooking here with Wi-Fi.
I think I'm good.
Is that just you, Dane? Dane brings all the lag to the yard.
Dane, close down all your porn sites, okay? Just have us up. That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah. Johnny sent him a few links. So, all right, let's get into it.
Johnny.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
What we will do, I'll let you lead the way. Give me no more than a minute. Give me a player. You pick, you lead. And then I have some guys at the same position as you who I think we could also. So go ahead. The floor is yours, my guest.
All right. Well, the way that I did this, I picked 5 free agents, not necessarily the 5 best free agents, but I think realistic targets, because obviously when you're about in the middle of the league in terms of cap space, you're not going to spend premium money. You're not going to go for the most expensive player at every single position. But there are certain spots where you are going to pay a good amount of money. And for those who were with me last night, who stayed up very, very late, up until 12:30 in the morning, we talked offensive tackle. And from what I hear, that's a position the Jets could use a little bit of help at. I don't know if you've heard that, Nick, but I've heard a few. There's a few beat writers, a few content providers, and a few nuts on Jets Twitter who thinks that they need help at offensive tackle. And to me, the number one
rumor. I heard
Yeah,
a rumor.
yeah.
Heard some
Yeah,
noise. Heard some noise from the boys. What are you
Just
thinking?
just a little bit. But yeah, number one for me would be Tyron Smith. I've broken down quite a few free agent targets, and I think we're kind of in lockstep on this one. When you look at, there's really hardly such a thing as a perfect free agent, where you're going to get the youth, production, the durability, the scheme fit, the character. Very rarely are you going to get all five of those. But Tyron Smith will check off the majority of those boxes. He is a dominant pass blocker. He actually played more snaps this year than any year since 2018. He played 942 snaps, allowed 1 sack, 1 hit, 18 pressures, and also still a very good run blocker. Only took 3 penalties. That's like 1 game for Mekhi Becton. Okay. Now, I know we have the injury issues to look at, and that's concerned mostly lower body injuries. But in terms of the upside, sometimes you got to take a chance on the upside, especially when the success of your offense is all around protecting the quarterback. I want the best pass protector in free agency, so we don't have to get that during the draft. So to me, Tyron Smith is the first phone call I would make if I'm Joe Douglas.
All right. I like it. I think you have to make that phone call. I think you have to be in. I think you have to present a contract. Here's where I think we lose out. The amount of salary cap that we have available.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might get priced out. I think we have other needs where we can't have a CJ Mosley, Le'Veon Bell year where we're setting the market and giving the most to guys at positions. As much as left tackle is a need, I don't think we go that direction with it. I think we're going to settle on somebody who fits a Joe Douglas mold. I think we settle on somebody who has positional flexibility, one of the traits of a Joe Douglas line. I think we end up with a Jonah Williams. And now it's not my first choice, but let me pull it up. I lost it. That's what she said. Sport Track has them projected 4 years, $43 million for an average salary of 10.8. I think that's more where you see us go. I think you're going to find somebody that you can maybe play inside. I think he played inside in college, right? I think he was a guard in college, and then they kicked him out to tackle at Cincinnati.
I think he did play a little bit of guard beforehand, but yeah, but he really found his best. He found his groove when he moved over to right tackle.
Yeah, I would like him at right tackle, and I would like Vera Tucker back at guard. That's me. Now, I'm not saying Jonah Williams is the number one target. I'm saying it's who we could very well end up with.
Now, I have to ask,
because of the value. But I'm sorry, because of the value.
Yeah. So the fact that we would be going after Jonah Williams to play right tackle, is that based off the idea that we will be drafting Brock Bowers at number 10? Is this all connected?
It's not. It's not. It's just I think you can't go into the $18 to $22 million a year range with as the limited cap that we have as of right now. Even if you restructure Quinnen and save 8 to 10, even if you restructure CJ, add a year and bring like the Von Miller, 17.8 comes down to only like an $8 million cap hit this year. That's another $20 million you can have between CJ and Quinnen. I don't think they extend Reed because Reed might be gone after this year. You can't have Carter, Sauce, and Reed all on brand new deals in the secondary. You just can't. So I think that could be a guy that we end up with. And I know I see a bunch of you in the chat, Wild Wave, Jay saying no.
I did not speak very well of him last night. Let's just put it.
I know.
Yeah.
But price matters.
No, it does.
We don't have 85 million available where we can get into bidding wars. I think we're going to have to let the dust settle and then grab a guy. I do. You know, I could see Tyron Smith taking a discount and going to Kansas City. and going there and getting a ring that he'd never get a taste of with the Dallas Cowboys. The Chiefs' weakness has been tackles. You bring in Tyron Smith next to Thuney and Humphrey and the other Smith. That's why
And
I
also
think
they
he
have
ends up.
weakness, and they have another weakness. It's called every wide receiver other than Rashee Rice.
Red John, welcome. If it's your first time here, man, thanks.
Hey,
Please
John.
subscribe to both mine and Adam's if you haven't already. Adam's streaming it to his channel here as well. I believe Bakhtiari is going to be in play. And I think you very, very well could see him being a New York Jet. Not right away. Maybe fielding some offers. Rodgers staying in touch with them. But would you rather have just Tyron Smith on a massive deal, or would you rather have maybe Jonah Williams and Bakhtiari together for less money? We need bodies, right? We need multiple bodies. Like we're not one player away from having a full set line.
How do I say this? I feel like Jonah Williams is like Laken Tomlinson Part 2. He's durable. He will play, but his level of performance, his pass blocking is terrible. He is not a good pass blocker, and that is what we need. And with all the players that we're going to be available to us at number 10 at right tackle, just to play right tackle, I can't justify the idea of paying Jonah Williams when he is not going to be a good enough left tackle. So,
listen, I agree with you. I'm not saying I want these guys. I think that's who we end up with because we're strapped with cash.
Got it.
Yes, I'm doing it maybe a little differently, but it's not who am I going to call right away. It's more of who might we end up having to call, right?
Okay.
Like
I would go Bakhtiari before I go Williams. I will say that. I would take a chance with Bakhtiari because when he plays, he is very good. That can't be denied. Cannot be denied.
No, absolutely. All right. Give me your next position.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. I think we're at 25 right now.
25, 26, right in there.
But I expect some news coming in over the weekend. I think we have another guy or two we could cut and maybe save another 5. And then if we redo Mosley and Quinnen, we could be up to like 50 million very quickly.
Let me see. I think I might have something down here about that. I swear I've got something somewhere. So basically TJ, we really made the big cuts with Tomlinson and Uzama. Now, if we were to let go of JFM, so JFM is on the books, I believe, for $16.4 million, and we could save $7.3 million by cutting him. So that's one. I think if I had to bet on somebody else, it would be JFM as being the next one.
Are you the only one here? What do you mean? Are you the only one here?
Yes, you are. No, you're definitely. That's the
he's watching from your channel.
All right.
Hey, man, you're supporting either way.
Mark Riss wants to know: should we throw money to Aaron Jones to back up Hall? Aaron Jones is not a free agent, and he is not
a backup running back either.
Oh no,
Aaron Jones is not a backup running back.
Nor do I want his backup in Green Bay. And Nick could probably give you reasons why that we wouldn't want him.
I can't give the reason why. Mark, you can call me off air, and I'll give you the reason why.
But the bottom line is this: with AJ Dillon,
let me give Mark a hint. Mark, let's just say my previous life crossed in a very close way with another player in the NFL close to Aaron Jones. So just leave it there, Mark. You text me, Mark.
Yeah.
All right. Give me your next position of need for the New York Jets, and give me a player that you think that they have to call right away.
Okay, I'm going to we'll stay with the quarterback situation because I think this is going to be a little bit controversial. Now, when you talk about the backup quarterbacks who are going to be available, there's really two that stand out above the rest. You've got Jacoby Brissett, you've got Gardner Minshew. I think that they are both. If I'm a backup quarterback and I'm a good backup quarterback, I would rather go to a place where I would have an opportunity to start. As long as Aaron Rodgers is the Jets quarterback, that is not going to happen. Thank you, Mess. Thank you. So to me, I don't see. I think Brissett is going to be looking for an opportunity. If I'm Brissett, I'm taking a little less money to have more of an opportunity to start. And I don't know if Indianapolis is going to let Minshew go. I think it worked out very well for him. Of course, Richardson will be their starter, but I don't know if Minshew gets loose. And I look at some of the other options out there. Jameis Winston to me is an absolute head case. I think he has some very serious jerk vibes coming from him. If you just hear the way he talks to the media, the way he conducts himself, I don't think he's mature.
He won't fit New York media. He's not.
No. This is like Jamal Adams, like 10 times that. That's how bad that would be if he was playing.
Yeah. Like, I don't think the media would love Quinnen in New York if Quinnen wasn't an elite player, because it's not the New York persona, so to say. But Jameis Winston ever has to play, it's going to be no. I can't.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be painful. I don't hate the idea of Sam Darnold coming back. I just don't think the Jets would ever do it, and I don't think Sam would want to come back. But if he had been anywhere other than the Jets, if he hadn't been a Jet, I would say it would make a lot of sense. I think it would be a perfect fit if he wasn't a Jet first. I think they're going to call Ryan Tannehill since he has the experience with the Tennessee staff. Right now, the expectation is he's going to Pittsburgh, because he's got some familiarity with some of the people on staff there as well. But at 35 years old, I know his performance seems to be slipping a little bit, but you still have a pretty good floor. And in terms of what is out there, what is realistic for the Jets to acquire, not that he is my favorite. I'd rather have Darnold back, but I would give Ryan Tannehill a call. I think that is a realistic target.
I'm going to go with someone else. I'm surprised you didn't mention him. Everywhere this guy has sat and played, he's always done well when he comes in. His salary last year is the reason why. He was $1.4 million cap hit last year as a backup quarterback who had to start a couple games until he met Quincy Williams at the sideline. And I am going, you should bring in and should settle on, and I don't think it's settling. If you can get a guy like that, doesn't have to change where he lives. He's already been here. Bring in Tyrod Taylor. Bring in Tyrod. I think Gardner Minshew, I think you're looking $10 million or more. I think someone's going to pay him to be a backup, and they're going to give him top dollar for a backup. And I don't think that's a situation we can get into. I think that you're bargain shopping here. And Harlan, if this is for Taylor, he's 35, but he's like a classic car that sits in the garage. There's not a lot of miles on him at 35. I would rather be interested in having dinner with my ex-mother-in-law and her telling me her thoughts and opinions and feelings on me as a bad husband to her daughter when we were together. I would rather get mule kicked in the dick by a donkey than ever have Mike White play quarterback again for the New York Jets.
Would you rather watch Mike White play quarterback for the Jets again, or watch a 24
the other? Give me the other. The other. I would rather take Jake Paul's place and fight Mike Tyson at AT&T Stadium than ever watch Mike White throw another pass for the Jets.
Or watch 80 for Brady on a 24-hour loop.
Ten-star, look how many holes this roster has, and look at the cap. We don't have 70, 80 million. We can't throw 10 million at a backup quarterback. This is the problem when you have all these first-round draft picks on the roster. This is the problem. You can't have 3 first-round picks, 2 first-round picks. You can't have 7 first-round picks. The money adds up. You can't have JFM, a rotational piece on a D line. making $16 million in a year. I like JFM. I hate the fucking contract. I hate it.
CJ, look at CJ. You know, he's making 21 this year. How many more times? I feel like CJ Mosley has been restructured every year for the last 3 years. It feels like it's CJ Mosley. It's like the Mets have Bobby Bonilla Day. The Jets have CJ Mosley restructure day. Right around the same time every year, he gets his contract redone. I mean, seriously, after the nuclear holocaust, there will be cockroaches and CJ Mosley on the Jets. He will be there for the new stadium, the 35th edition of their uniforms. CJ is going to be a lifetime Jet. You can't get rid of him.
I don't know how you're saying we have money. What's our cap number right now? 25 million? 3 days away from Tampa?
Yeah, for now.
How are we going to get 15 players with 25 million? You got to get some $1.4 million players.
And I think they're going to do that. Yeah. At other positions. I think they will do that. When we get into things like running back, safety, different things like that, I think they're going to go cheap in certain spots. And I'm fine with that. Defensive tackle.
We have 36 million in dead cap.
Yeah.
We didn't have that the last couple of years.
That's
36 million dead hurts.
And that has not been an issue in previous years, but
it's the first time we're dealing with it.
Yep. Now, it won't be long, but it's going to hurt this year. So that's why you got to hit, with those draft picks you have, you better hit on them and you better find some bargains. But again, JD tends to do his best work in free agency in the second wave, not so much with the first wave. Look at Conklin compared to Tomlinson, just as a for instance. So
I think that's a guy you could see.
And that's a big reason why I feel like Bryce Huff is gone. I just can't imagine a situation where he comes back.
I'm going to throw something out. This is not my preference. This is just a conversation. I know the chat is very rambunctious tonight. They're excited going from one beard to the other, from Green Bean to Big Nick. I get it. Trevor Simeon's pretty cheap too. I know you might want to hit your head against the wall, but
I might. It's right.
The idea is not having the backup quarterback play, right? So I'm not going to use money for my backup quarterback when I have needs I could fit elsewhere. I'll repeat this. I didn't want to get into the long, but it's rolling downhill. How do I word this? Here, simple. Last year, there were more starting quarterbacks used in NFL history than any other season ever. Do you know how many backups made it to the final 8 in the playoffs? So this whole, we got to have a backup quarterback, we got to have. If you lose your starting quarterback for the season, your season's over. It's just a matter of when. You don't have any realistic hopes. I'll be honest with you. If we're not winning the Super Bowl, I'm not one of these guys banging the table about a playoff drought. When I get there, I want to be able to go all the way. I don't want to get my foot in the door and get the door slammed on my face in the first quarter of the first playoff game because we have a backup quarterback there. Things need to go right. Things need to happen. I'm not going to spend $10 million on a backup quarterback when we have $36 million in dead cap right now. I'm not going to add $10 million of my $25 million available to a backup quarterback. It's piss poor management. Go find a value guy who could start and play. Tyrod Taylor. Go get him. Nice guy, great guy. Brissett, I think will be a little bit more. I'm okay with Brissett. I'm okay with Tannehill if it's $5 million or less. I would love Sam Darnold, but I don't think Sam would ever want to do the New York media again. I think the way he was treated by fans and media was horrible. It was a horrible team. We had no weapons. We had no line. We had no coaching. And they gave up on it. His best
weapon was Jamison Crowder. God bless Jamison Crowder, but come on. That's like a third. On a good offense, that's like a fourth option.
Bingo. Bullseye. It's the overreaction. Like Mets fans in New York. You don't want to spend big money on a free agent because the year before you spent big money on free agents and then they were gone by July, right? So it's like everyone wants to go completely opposite of what just happened. Would you agree with that? Like, if you would have went and spent big money on a guy this year in free agency as a Met fan, would you have been like hesitant, like, oh, here we go again? We did that already. Now we got to go opposite.
It depends on. I mean, obviously, it depends on the free agent. I know that's a bit of an easy answer, but I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on the Mets. But for instance, if they had signed Jordan Montgomery, if there was no luxury tax situation, I'd be begging for the Mets to sign Jordan Montgomery for that starting rotation. The problem is the level of luxury tax they're at. If they gave him hypothetically 1 year, $23 million, they got to pay twice that much in luxury tax penalties. Anybody paying Jordan Montgomery 1 year, $46 million? Sorry, it doesn't make sense. So I am willing to take a year to reassess everything. And then let's see what happens next year when the payroll for the Mets next year is like $133 million. And then they're going to be in position to go after, I'm not being anything here, but they could go after a Juan Soto. They can sign Pete Alonso. They could go after on the pitching market, a Max Fried or a Corbin Burns or a Walker Buehler. So I get what you're saying. So yeah, I mean, sometimes the opposite, but I understand why the Mets aren't going with big free agents.
We're going to get into this position in a little bit. Oh, I love
we need Mrs. Poyer. That's what we need.
I love Jordan Bush before she got facial surgery, and she doesn't like the facial surgery because all of her photos are now like this.
Oh my gosh, aren't those photos ridiculous? Those selfies. Yeah. I know who came up with the cover the face selfie, but it's like
2 years ago. 2 years ago, she had the most beautiful face, and then she got a nose job, and now it doesn't. She got some work done on her face. No, I don't. It's the complete opposite of this, actually. I bring my own. I bring my own to the yard, Jared. I don't need anyone else to have one. Were
you a fan of Reggie Bush?
I don't know if you were here earlier. I did mention this. There is a Rottweiler who needs to get Dog of the Year because the Rottweiler took Jeremy out in the dog park and its head hit his leg and he thought he had like broken his shin because the Rottweiler was like a missile. So I just want to say to the Rottweiler, thank you. Job well done.
Best in show.
And who's a good boy? You are. Also, in case there's been any confusion about anything I've ever said about him, Jeremy sucks.
Well, I certainly hope that the Rottweiler is okay.
Yeah, the Rottweiler is okay. the Rottweiler looked at Jeremy, and Jeremy was just like, "Go take 2 Excedrin and call me in the morning."
Oh right. Boy!
Well, Jeremy, thank you for chiming in. I hope your leg is okay. So let's go on to your next position. Ivan Ramirez here. What's up, Ivan? If you are watching, you're on my channel. Thank you. If you're new here, please subscribe and enjoy your stay. And Matthias is here, always supporting Matthias. Thank you so much, brother. So let's do a recap, Adam. Give me the 2 names so far that you mentioned for those who just joined in, who you think should be called, and the Jets, the guys, 2 guys that you said the Jets have to call.
The number 1 priority for me is Tyron Smith to address the left tackle position. And I also would make a phone call to Ryan Tannehill. I think he would make sense. All things considered.
All right. I'm doing it a little differently. I'm saying that the guys who I think we end up with, and I chose Jonah Williams for the offensive line, and I chose Tyrod Taylor for quarterback. Go ahead. What's your next position? I'll let you lead off with everyone.
Yeah. By the way, Chad, at the end of the show, you can let us know which of us you want to hire as Jets GM. So, we are. We got the time. We're working on our resumes. I also wanted to look here at backup running back. I don't want to do every marquee position immediately, but the Jets will need a second running back behind Breece Hall because I'm not ready to trust Izzy Abanikanda with the full backup running back load. I don't think he's quite there yet. And I know there's going to be a lot of very good running backs. This is going to be running back roulette between Swift, Eckler, Barkley, Jacobs, Henry. It's going to be crazy. So to me, the Jets need to go a level down from that. And I am looking. This is the spot where I'm looking to really spend very little money and bring in somebody who can maybe run the ball 5-10 times a game and give a little bit of a different style of run than what Breece Hall will give you. So I want a little bit of power here. Of course, you could address this in the draft, but I like Dante Foreman, 27 years old, 235 pounds, had a pretty good season this year, averaged about 4.5 yards per run for the Bears. Last year, though, really good, 12 touchdowns in 35 games. And he's only projected, according to Spot Track, to make about $3 million this year. And, he's kind of shuffled around the league a little bit. But there's some spots where you take a little bit of a journeyman who can be quietly productive. And I think Dante Foreman would be that kind of a running back.
All right. I'm not against it. I think he's always been good in a limited role. I think he was in Atlanta, Chicago, and where was he last year?
He was with the Bears last year. He's working on catching up to Josh McCown, I think.
He was injured a little bit, right? 'Cause I think he played a little bit when Herbert got hurt in that one big game that Fields had against Washington on Thursday. Very similar to you here.
Yeah.
I think you could see somebody who's got some starting experience in case he has to step into a bigger role, God forbid. I'm going with, and Jets fans, I know you guys always have PTJD. I'm going with a former Minnesota Viking running back. I'm going to go with Alexander Madison. He just got released. I think the projection's $3.2 million. I think you can bring him in and maybe still draft someone later, because you always want to draft a running back late every year, right? You could find runners. If you have the line, you could find a running back to succeed. Terrell Davis was a 6th rounder. Mike Anderson was undrafted. If you have the blocking scheme and the guys, then you got a nice little situation there. So I think Madison is somebody and it might take 2 weeks to get to him, because you got the big names. You got Henry, you got Barkley, you got Pollard, you got Jacobs, you got big names. Chubb, I think, is a free agent, right?
Wow. Come on, just think of the headlines. Madison Square Garden.
Nice.
Thank you.
So
Madison Avenue.
I think that's somebody that we can settle with. Somebody that doesn't have a big contract. We're not going to pay $7-8 million again from last year's running back situation. Lesson learned. But somebody who can expand his role. Somebody who can start off. One of the biggest things for the Jets last year was when Breece Hall stopped being on the field on first down as much, and they were bringing him out for 2nd and 3rd. So I'm okay with somebody like Madison getting out there for first down and then bringing in Breece for 2nd and 3rd. If they're, because I don't want Breece Hall on the field for downs 1 and 2 and coming off on 3rd down. I want him out there as the pass catching threat. So I think if you have someone like Madison, it's someone you can trust toting the rock on first down. Maybe you get 4 yards, or it's a little play action threat because you think you're going to give it to him. And then now you bring in Breece on 2nd, 3rd down fresh, and you have an elite weapon who can move the chains. So it's not like Breece doesn't deserve to start, but I don't want to see him trotting off the field 7 plays into the drive on a key 3rd down. I would rather use the fresh legs on first down and use Breece when the defense is getting tired as fresh legs. So a little bit of a different strategy, but I want the ball in Breece's hands in key situations. I don't give a shit who gets the ball on first down. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah, but there's a number of ways you could go with it because Breece is so versatile. I'll give you another option of running back. Another guy who's going to hit the market is Gus Edwards from the Baltimore Ravens. Excellent goal line back. Great at getting short yardage. Maybe you bring, because we know how bad we were at 3rd downs in the red zone last year. Historically, people talk about generational talents. We had a generational offense on the negative side when it came to those situations. And a guy like Gus Edwards, I think, could go a ways, even without a great offensive line in front of him, to get in those key yards because he's a bulldozer. So that's a little different way to go about it, where you use Breece on 1st and 2nd, but use Edwards in some of those big roles because, good luck taking him down. So a lot of ways you could go with this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like it. Harlan, I'm not saying Chubb for us. I'm just saying those are some of the big name free agent running backs that the dust has to settle. Running back, it might even take a month before the running back because these guys are going to hold out for big money that I don't think they're getting. I don't. Kind of like the safety market. The running back market has never been more watered down than it is now. And I think you're going to see a lot of disappointing one-year deals. So who knows? Who knows how it plays out? Maybe somebody who's expecting big money, not that I want them, just a name, an Eckler, could maybe only get a 1 year, $6 million deal.
Crazy.
Maybe a Pollard only gets a 1 year. These guys aren't getting 13, 14. The Christian McCaffrey contract, I doubt we ever see again at running back. I doubt.
I'll be amazed to see what Derrick Henry has left in the tank. It seems like every year we expect him to fall off, but he still manages to be pretty productive.
Yeah.
But now if he's in a complimentary role, maybe that extends his career a little bit. That'd be interesting. Here's the interesting thing, Scott, with Gus Edwards. The Ravens used a couple of different running backs last year, and Edwards may not have gotten as big a role if he did if J.K. Dobbins, another free agent, by the way, even though I know he's hurt constantly, Edwards got more time than what he was used to. So I don't know if he's going to get that big of a contract. I think he might get $5-6 million. I don't know if it's going to be too much more than that. I think Edwards, he's not even going to be in the top 7 or 8 paid running backs in this free agent class. I mean, with the names we just went down, Edwards is going to be in the 2nd or 3rd tier. And that's why I think that's another name that could make sense because that's a place you can save some cash.
Spotrac has Dobbins estimated at 2.1 with the injuries.
Wow.
I mean, you look at here's another name I'll throw out. Somebody like a Zach Moss, a Naheem Hines, some guys like that. Moss is perfect with his catching ability. I think he's a real poor man's like Brees. I know Tin Star teasing me that I'm operating the team like I'm broke, but you're gonna find guys who can come in and succeed, and excel in limited roles. And those guys do that. I know Hines got hurt returning the kick. I'm looking at Josh Kelly is a lower down running back from the Chargers, right? He had some starting experience. Just reeling off names here. Chase Edmonds, great weapon out of the backfield, right? Antonio Gibson from Washington.
That's another one. Yep.
McKinnon from Kansas City.
Devin Singletary. That's another one. Right. My thing with Zach Moss, I like him a lot. I just think he's going to get paid a little bit more than what we want to pay a second running back. That's the only reason I didn't mention.
Yeah, I get that. Like, let's see. Let's look at Tony Pollard on Spotrac. 6.5. I was dead on without even knowing it. 6.5 million is his estimated contract. Like Saquon, 9.9. So somebody, I think the Bears and Texans strike quick at running back. And then, like, everyone else wants that big money, and other teams are going to be like, we're not doing it.
Snowball, I'm going to respond to you. Is Singletary a possibility? How much? The estimated contract I saw, and Singletary is 26 years old, 3 years, $5.3 million. But again, not all of that money is going to be guaranteed, obviously. So I'm sure if we signed Devin Singletary to a 3-year deal, there would be a way to get out of it after 1 year. I'm pretty pumped. 1 year maybe, but definitely get out of it in 2 years. So. But I don't know. Why would
somebody like Moss or Hines is good?
So
that's why somebody like Moss or Hines or Madison are good, because if Izzy strikes gold, you don't have a controversy. It's okay. Izzy broke out with 100 yards or 100 carries and shown I can be an RB2 in this league. Now you're done with that guy after 1 year. There's no dead cap money. It's done. So I think you might see several 1-year deals that the Jets are giving out because they're gonna need money. Sauce is gonna reset the market. I'm projecting Sauce to go 5 years, 130. Like, I think he's gonna go 25, 26 million a year at cornerback. So you're gonna need money. And I think 1-year deals and just start drafting and then getting these guys in. And then, Gus Edwards, you mentioned 3.6 million. I'd give Gus Edwards 3.6 to complement Brees.
Oh, yeah.
I would use him as my first down, get a couple yards, my fourth down back. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it's the same type of contract as Madison, right? If you're getting less than $4 million on a running back, if we can get a backup running back and a backup quarterback between Taylor and the Madison and spend less than $5 million, I think that's an awesome job at being a general manager in the NFL. Because I think the days of writing the large checks for backups for the Jets right now is over. You're not going to see it. I'd be shocked. I would be literally shocked. So give me your next free agent, bud, and position.
Okay.
And I'm sure both names that we throw out will be greatly embraced by the fantastic chat tonight.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I did message this to you, but I just threw in a defensive tackle. I don't know if you had a defensive tackle in mind, but I just threw one in as well. So if you want,
where'd you message me?
We'll get to that in a little bit. But
where did you message me?
Yeah, I went pretty obscure on that one. But let's do one more.
Wait, answer me. Where did you message me?
I texted you, but I haven't sent you his name yet. So I'll do that. I'm going to send that in the private chat real quick.
Oh, all right. I'm looking at the text. There we go. All right.
Yeah, I was just letting you know. I'm like, you know what? I need a defensive tackle in here. All right, but let's do one more offensive. We got to do wide receiver here. Now, I've got a strange suspicion. I think I know who you might like. But for me, I feel like this is one of the spots where you really do have to spend because we have to open up that offense and we need another playmaker. And right now, I'm pretty much going for it. I'm going for Calvin Ridley. 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns last year. He's really a 1A receiver. He may not be the receiver that you're counting on to carry your offense, but he's a very, very good second receiver when there's another one on the other side of him. He's got somebody named Garrett Wilson. He's got number 5, I believe, on the other side of him. But he adds the vertical threat. And I don't think the Jaguars are going to keep him because I think if they do, the draft pick they have to give up in the draft goes from a 3rd rounder to a 2nd rounder. So I don't think he's staying in Jacksonville. Now, it's been a few years since he really, really shined, and he turns 30 this year. But I think you could get him for about a 3-year deal. So I think this is one position where I'm swinging for the fences, especially since right now we don't have a 2nd-round pick. I'm looking at Ridley.
All right. I mean, anybody who follows and watches the show on a weekly basis, which most of you guys here do, know the receiver that I'm going to say. Adam, I sent you the highlight video today in the DM chat and Twitter. When I watched that, I got excited thinking about, and that was with Sam Howell. It's Curtis Samuel. I think Curtis Samuel over the middle, the end arounds. I think the guy fits what we want to do with the ball, the route tree, wide open a lot. I Googled or YouTube searched Curtis Samuel highlights. The guy was open so many times with no one near him. That's what I need on the field. I don't do the labeling of wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. To me, that's fantasy football label shit. I need guys that complement one another. I need guys that whatever you do, you could do a little bit of that, but I need you to do something better than him. And I'll take Curtis Samuel going over the middle and being that guy who lines up in the slot. He's not the biggest guy, but to me, he's like a poor man's Debo. He can go over the middle. He can get you yards after catch. You do the wide receiver screen. You watch guys after the show, of course, or if you have a different browser open. Go look at his highlights. That's a guy that he's not the most biggest, most physical guy, but it's somebody who always catches it and gets the yardage. I think that he's somebody, and that's a contract around $11 million projected. So you're probably looking about 6 or 7 on the cap for this year. I think that's perfect. I would give him a 2-year, $22 million deal and say, you're 27 years old. We're going to get you a 2-year deal. You're going to play next to Garrett Wilson. You're going to play with Aaron Rodgers. Then you're going to be 29 years old and still able to go get one more big deal. Come maximize your value. Come try to win a Super Bowl. Be a New York Jet, Curtis Samuel. That's my first call. It's not the big splash,
Right.
but I think Ridley's going to push for 20. You can get me Curtis Samuel 2 years, 22 million, maybe 24. I'll take that in a heartbeat because then we can be out of the Lazard contract next year. After this year, we're done with Lazard, right?
Yeah, we could get out of it after this year.
Yeah.
Not sure what
And
the dead
now
cap would be,
that's
but
a
we could
good
get out.
1-2 to have for multiple years, in my opinion. And then you bring someone in through the draft behind him. But I'm very, very big on him.
You know the thing, every year there are one or two players, particularly a wide receiver, that we don't see getting traded, then all of a sudden, boom. Whether it's AJ Brown, whether it's Justin Jefferson, and there's more. There was Tyreek Hill. We all know that story. I've got a weird suspicion. Maybe, just maybe, and I'm mentioning this because you mentioned Washington.
You got a name? Don't drop the name. I love guessing games. Like I know you love doing trivia.
Yeah.
All right, talk it up and let me see if I can guess it. Go ahead. I almost kicked the lead over.
I'm trying to figure out how I can get NFC. NFC wide receiver.
Tyler Lockett.
I wasn't thinking Tyler Lockett.
All right.
It's an interesting name, though. Very interesting name.
Give me a hint. Come on.
Don't think too far away from where you just were.
Metcalf?
No, not Metcalf. So what receiver did you want the Jets to call first?
Oh, what are you going? Terry McLaurin?
Yeah. I think McLaurin is a very sort of under the radar wide receiver.
Oh my God!
And I feel like
pump the brakes on Samuel.
I think Aaron Rodgers would really elevate his play. I think he's just one of those receivers who is going to be looking to make an impact quickly because his career's starting to tick a little bit. I feel like he's just entering his prime. Now I know he signed a contract, like a 3-year contract, like a year or two ago. But that might be something the Jets could work out with Washington. It's just an idea. Okay. Under the radar receiver.
I would love that. I would love that. But let me add this. I can't afford to wait on a trade. We got to get, in my opinion, a free agent weapon. And I think Curtis Samuel, I hope, is a New York Jet. I've been saying this name since November.
Yep. Yeah.
I've been saying it before anyone else was saying it. This was the guy that I looked at, and maybe even October, I was saying that we need another weapon. We need guys who can get open and beat man coverage. And he plays bigger than he is in terms of physicality and his athleticism and going and making contested catches. Like I can't say it enough. To me, I see a poor man's Debo. And I think that's somebody who complements Garrett Wilson tremendously. And it's somebody we can get the ball to and somebody who can create and make things happen and beat the zone over the middle. And Rodgers will get it to him quick. And then he can angle inside the linebacker and the cornerback and gain some extra yards before the safety comes up.
See, I just have this very strong suspicion that we're going to take a wide receiver in the middle rounds. And I think at that point, there's a very good chance you could get a slot guy. You could get a Malachi Corley with your third round. You could get Malik Washington. You could get a Jalen McMillan. There are a lot of good receivers to go after in that draft, and a lot of them can fulfill that slot role. Washington and Corley, I'm very, very high on those two. So to me, that's why for me, I'm really looking at the outside receiver, whereas you got Samuel, very good in the slot, goes over the middle. But I feel like you could get that kind of player in the draft too, and Rodgers will elevate them. So,
okay. All right. What do you got next?
Mark Riz with a question. He wants to throw it out. What if Corey Davis wants back this year? I'm like, Corey, cool, but we're not going to pay you a whole heck of a lot of money, but you got every opportunity to earn a spot.
Yeah. We've seen too many guys sit out a year and not have it anymore. Corey was never the fleetest of foot. I'm not putting more than one egg in the Corey Davis basket.
Yeah. And I don't know
what happened with the contract. I know when Mosley opted out for COVID, the contract just extended. That year didn't exist. You pushed it down the road.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happens if Davis sits out a year and comes back. Last year was supposed to be his last year under contract.
Yeah, I mean, he said he was stepping away. I don't think he ever filed retirement papers. Like, I'm gonna see.
Yeah, I worded that wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because there's a big difference there. Yeah, so yeah, I guess just he's still only 29 years old. Amazingly enough, he's still young, all things considered. I think this was his contract. Yeah, I think his contract is actually up. The only question is, would it roll over? Because his contract was 2021 through 2023.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if that be the case, then he'd be an unrestricted free agent right now.
10 stars. I think we have him already.
Yeah.
Rodgers will throw Garrett Wilson every ball. He will throw him fades on the sideline. I think that he will be our side. He will be our everything guy. You put one-on-one coverage over there. Like, I know it's a small sample, guys. We didn't have a lot. But if you look at that opening drive in the Giant preseason game, he fed Wilson the ball 4 times. They backed off 9 yards off the line, quick throw to start the drive. They backed off 9 yards again. Wilson ran 7 yards, turned, got it, and then he's shifty enough to make more yardage out of it. Your boundary guy is going to be Garrett, just like it was Devontae Adams. I expect to see Garrett come in with a couple more pounds of muscle on him this year to be more physical when he does get bodied up. But that's going to be our guy. He's going to be our everything guy. Like, we're going 125 catches or more. Easy, I think.
Mark also asking, would you throw one of our 4s for Cortland Sutton? Yeah. I would not trade a 3. I would trade a 4.
I would take
that 3. Yeah, you got to give me some really good.
I need to do that now before free agency because I can't sit there and wait and lose out on both.
Yep.
Like, that's got to be done before the new league year starts. So, you know, you're getting this contract. Maybe you want to rework it. Maybe you want to extend them, whatever. But I got to have that done before the new league year starts. Who you got next? What position you got next, sir?
Okay, so I went over to defense. I wanted 2 particular spots where we need starters because there's 2 spots on the defense where we have 1 starter, and that's essentially it. And one of them is safety. For me, what maybe about as good a match as there is for this defense is Cameron Curl from Washington. See, we're really targeting Washington. You know, the Redskins raided us all those years ago. I think it's our turn to raid them right back. You know what I'm talking about? Not that they have a lot of talent to raid, but that's besides the point. But Curl is only 24 years old, super young, but he's very reliable. Excellent in coverage. He's been called for only 7 penalties in 4 years. He can play the slot. He can play center field. He could generate pressure in the box. And I thought this was pretty interesting. So ESPN, the reliable source they always are, but just take this ride with me anyway. They looked at 50 free agents who they considered the top 50 free agents and what their ideal fit was. Of the top 50 free agents, there was only 1 linked to the New York Jets as a perfect fit, and it was this guy. It was Cameron Curl. So you put him there with Tony Adams in between Sauce and DJ and Michael Carter. That secondary is going to be even better. Another thing, we did not tackle well from the safety position. A lot of missed tackles, Jordan Whitehead. But besides that, Cameron Curl will help improve the tackling ability and help prevent some of those big plays. So I think Curl, I don't know if we can afford him, but I definitely think he is worth making a call, and let's see if he would come to the Jets.
All right. Hey, Jet Fan 4, welcome. It's all right, man. It's all right. We're hanging out here. Y2K with me. Again, I'm bargain hunting here. And this is a guy who never played a game for the New York Jets.
Oh,
I got to have Chuck Clark.
Yeah.
Everything that we heard about Chuck Clark, the quality of the guy, his play-making ability, his wisdom, his knowledge. He plays faster than he looks because he's so smart. It was a cheap contract that we acquired. Extend him. If he fit your scheme and you went out and got him from Baltimore, sign him. Sign him. And now if you're getting a guy like that who can start, and you have a backup quarterback and a running back, and you got 3 guys who can contribute to your team for a less than $7-8 million, that's how you got to construct this team. You got to find those guys that are perfect fits, that can play bigger than their contract, but want to be a Jet. So I know he's got the torn ACL, but he did it in July last year. I think it was July. It was before he even hit the field.
It was the last play of minicamp. The last freaking play
So
of the entire game.
early June, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he's good to go, I would love to see Chuck Clark back. I thought that he would have been really fun and exciting to watch.
Yeah.
And I thought that could have been a Quincy move, a Tony Adams move, a guy that maybe other teams gave up on and we could have made the most of.
Yeah. Oh,
and also, Superfan, it's 2024 in the NFL. There's not many guys that don't have an ACL injury anymore. It's almost like they all do.
What year did they have? It's like pitchers getting Tommy John surgery. Mark asks, is Cam Curl related to Herman Edwards, clock guru Dick Curl? Yes. Also, he is the cousin of Jerry Curl. Nice.
And Knobcraft is at the midget wrestling show. It's probably making his big show.
Oh, gosh. I'll tell you another safety who's kind of under the radar.
Wait, hold on. That's not an unfortunate name to have. That just says that your parents are fucking legends. Legends. Like the youth football, basketball player in Virginia. His first name is Noah. He became famous this year. The last name is Knigga. Knigga is how they say it. But to name him Noah, that's a great sense of humor. That's just like, I'm going to mess with my kid for eternity. Name a kid Dick Curl. That's great. And not even go by Richard. And it's like, oh, we're going to name you Richard, but no one's ever going to call you that.
It would only be worse if his last name was Johnson. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we know how that goes. I'll give you one other safety real quick that I don't think people are really talking about. I don't know what kind of a contract he's going to get, but I think it's kind of an intriguing one. It's Aloha.
Simmons already sorry, I didn't mean to. Superfan.
Okay.
I think Simmons already agreed to contract with Washington. He tweeted today off to DC.
What? Maybe he's just visiting.
Well, he's cut, so he can negotiate with teams before the tampering period opens.
Like Foley Fatukasi is actually meeting with the Bills. I'm not sure if you saw that, but he's meeting with them. Doesn't mean he's signing with them. But okay, yeah, Simmons. Yeah, there's going to be the safety market is going to be fascinating. I mean, guys like Aloha Gilman from the Chargers. I mean, more expensive. You have Xavier McKinney. Kyle Duggar won't be on the market, but then you got some other guys. Who's the guy from the Rams? Jordan Fuller. You've got Brandon Jones from the Dolphins, Darnell Savage from the Packers, Jeremy Chin from the Panthers. There are going to be a lot of good safeties out there to get, and you won't have to break the bank for them. So safety and running back are going to be fascinating positions to watch. So,
all right.
Okay. All right. And yeah, if you want, we could do one more position. Have you ever heard of pitching coach Dick Pohl? Yeah, he really threw the hard stuff.
Nice. Well done, Adam.
Thank you.
Well done.
I feel
that. Yeah, I could start to see our friendship having an influence on you. I didn't say it was a good influence. I just said uninfluence.
But since you met me, you went sober. I don't know. Not that I am, but that's another story.
Tinstar, I did see, we were in the middle of a discussion before, and I did see something that you said, and I think it was you. If I'm wrong, someone in the chat chime in and just correct me. I think he said cut CJ and sign Huff with that money instead.
Yeah. Yep, he did.
That was him. I mean, all right. Here's my initial thoughts on it, right? First time thinking about it. I'd rather invest $17 million into an up and coming player who can help this team this year and multiple years going forward, rather than give it to a guy who doesn't deserve $17 million as a player. Now, you're probably paying CJ $10 million to be the quarterback of the defense and get everyone lined up and get in everyone position. You're paying him $2 million for what he once was, and you're probably paying him $5 million to be what he is. But the knowledge that he brings, I don't know if Quincy's ready for that. I know Sherwood's not. I don't think that you can put those guys in positions to call the defense and line everybody up and know the other quarterback's tendencies and shifts. And if a guard has his hand a certain way, CJ's checking into something else. You can't put a price on that. And if we didn't have Aaron Rodgers and we weren't labeled as a team that was going all in, I think it's a no-brainer. You let CJ move on and go find a contender. But I know it's, but you're not going to find a lot of linebackers who are as smart as CJ. And we do have a lot of youth there on the defense. You need somebody like that. So even though I don't like the contract,
I know.
I don't think I could do it.
Very conflicting.
I don't think. I'd have to give it more thought, but that's my initial reaction with it.
The production versus the intangibles. It's what do you value more?
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do agree Huff is probably going to have to go for the good of the team. I agree. They're going to need that money. I'm willing to take a bit of a step back on defense in order to improve the offense. I will take the trade-off. After what we watched last year, come on. And again, if the offense is good, is able to play with the lead, we should have enough. I'm still convinced we're going to draft an edge rusher at some point towards the end of the draft. We're always going to draft an edge rusher as long as Sal and Douglas are there and continue to develop the pipeline. But between Will McDonald, JJ, in my mind, you've got two starters. I think McDonald really has some ability. We'll see if JFM is there. Clemens, I mean,
that's my bold prediction. Something happens with JFM.
Yeah.
I do not want that contract. Like
they're gonna have to add something somewhere. I think
5 sacks.
Yeah.
Does he even have 5 sacks in a season? I think he had 6.5 last season, the year before, 2022.
Yeah, I mean,
why am I paying this guy $16 million fucking dollars?
I mean, he'll play 55% of the snaps, basically 55-60%. So
I don't get it. I don't get it, man. You got to be able to find better.
How is JFM still only 27 years old? It feels like he's 33.
I think he came in. Yeah, I think he came in the league early.
Unbelievable. Yeah. I don't. Maybe he came out early from college or something. I mean, not that sacks are the end all be all, but they are relatively important. Career. Okay, I'm just trying to look his stats up, but of course the NFL website takes about 6 months to load. So with the Jets, he's had 3 sacks, 6 sacks, 5 sacks, and this past year 3.5 sacks. So basically about 4 or so sacks a year. So, but he plays. I mean, he's only missed 3 games in 4 years. So, and they can play him inside when they want to. He can set the edge pretty well too. I mean, he does do some good things, but I mean, is the idea for Clemens to take over that kind of a role eventually? I don't know. I could see McDonald taking over for Huff, and you take your chances there. But
yeah.
Boy,
I don't know. Give me anyone that we didn't mention. Oh, you had another position. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's do one more position. Yeah, let's do.
Right,
yeah,
go ahead.
One more position. Yes.
Go ahead. Lead her up.
Defensive tackle. So Quinnen Williams is all we have right now. Well, we'll probably have Tanzel Smart. We'll shovel him back and forth 9 or 10 times. He'll be, he'll have his Hard Knocks series again. But Solomon Thomas, Quinn Jefferson, Al Woods, all hitting the market. I think they're going to bring back Thomas, and I think they'll look at Jefferson. I like Quentin Jefferson. Good pass rusher for sure, but his run play is horrific. So to me, you definitely have some elite defensive tackles. I'm not really going there. I'm not looking at the Christian Wilkins or even the Chris Jones. Obviously, they would be fantastic to get. I just don't know if that's what makes sense. So this is a spot where I'm looking a little bit cheaper and a little more under the radar. And I've got an interior pass rusher in mind who's 28 years old. Did get hurt this year with a pec injury, but when he plays, he has like a pressure rate above 10%, which for an interior defender, that's really good. And it's Maurice Hurst from the Cleveland Browns. Hadn't had a ton of playing time, gets a few injuries, but he gets great burst off the line, very good interior rusher. He could sort of take over that Jefferson role. You won't have to pay him a whole lot of money. So looking a little bit under the radar, I'm going with Maurice Hurst as a defensive tackle to look at. Nick, do you have one in mind? Not to put you on the spot.
I'm looking at names right now, and
Yeah, there's.
I do think Solomon Thomas comes back on a cheap deal, and I don't want to say would love the move. I would like this move. I would be interested in Daquan Jones from Buffalo.
That was my next guy. He would have been number 2 for who I would have called. Yep, I like it.
And Jets fan 4 brings up going Fletcher Cox.
Fletcher Cox is like 33, 34 years old and his play really slipped this year. We're looking at the name value there more so than the production. So I'm a little uncertain about Cox. Nick, how do you feel about Cox?
Well, I'll refer to you as the expert in the category.
Hey, I didn't bring Cox up.
Not yet, but you take that helmet off.
Are you sure this isn't a Friday night? Dane's asking, are we moving on from Justin Hardy?
I think you have to, right?
Yeah, I mean, that would be.
You have to, because I can't give $3-4 million there when you have Irv Charles.
Maybe keep Ashton Davis, and he could. I mean, Ashton Davis did a really good job in special teams. Maybe he's ready to sort of take that role over. So, and then you could have him as like your third safety. So I think that's even more of a reason to bring back Ashton Davis.
Yep. Yeah.
So
yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you have more questions about any particular players or anything like that, yeah, let us know. Yeah, let us know what's on your mind here.
I was sleeping early last night. I had to go to DMV early this morning. What was your trivia last night?
Oh man, they got it like in about 1 minute. So they got it pretty quickly. So there was one draft where the Jets selected 2 players from the University of Miami, Florida. What was the year and who were the players?
From Miami?
From Miami.
Vilma?
Yep. What was the year? Do you remember what the year was?
Oh, if it was Vilma, it was 04.
Very good. Okay. Vilma's 1. Who's number 2?
I'm trying not to look at the screen because I know the chat's over here. I'm trying to look away from it.
I'm looking at the chat. I'll let you know. Yeah, it's not in there yet. Jet Superfan said Santana Moss. No, it's not Santana.
No, Moss was 02 or 01.
Moss was actually a little bit earlier. Wasn't Moss on the team when they won the AFC East?
I think Moss was 01 or 02.
02, yeah, right around 01. Yeah, he came the year before they won the division. I remember that.
I just happened to see this. Is this right? Will Madigra?
What?
Damn it. He got me. Wilma Dickrow. Damn it.
Oh,
damn it.
I've never seen that before.
That is what I want for the Super Chat Challenge. You're supposed to put things like that you get me to read and say. That was very good. No, we didn't draft McGahee. McGahee was a Buffalo.
Yeah, there was one
Buffalo?
chat.
Yeah, Willis McGahee was Buffalo.
Yeah,
all right. So that draft, we had Vilma. Did the guy play? Did he make the team, or was it just drafted?
He made the team. Yeah, he played. He wasn't with the Jets very long. I think he sort of drifted around with 1 or 2 other teams before kind of fading away. But yeah, he did play for the Jets. Defense and special teams. How about that?
Not Justin Miller. He wasn't from Miami, was he?
No, Miller was like a second round pick. Yeah, this was a little bit
Oh.
later.
No, Snowball Coles was Florida State. He was 2000 in the third round with that
Right.
Pennington draft.
Yep, that was a good draft.
I don't know. Give it to me. I don't know.
Daryl McClover.
I would never got that.
They got it like in 1 minute. It was
Yeah.
it was actually pretty impressive. Yeah, I didn't know if they were going to get McClover, but they did. So, yeah, the chat brought it last night. They really brought it, and the draft turned out really well too. We did the mock draft. We did the wheel last night.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it was
nice.
going well until the very end. So,
Nice.
yeah, our first date went very well. Our last two spins just killed it. But yeah, it was a good one.
Awesome.
All right.
You got any trivia loaded? You got any bullets in the chamber?
You know what I can? I just got to pull the gun out of the closet.
Nice.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm always impressed when people get it, but I'm also skeptical. I will admit that I'm a little skeptical at times.
Yeah, I found one question that's good, but it's a little bit old. It's like going back in time quite a ways. Let's see if we can find. I'll find one here. This one's rough.
Hank G, we had a former AP writer in the chat who covered the draft yesterday. We just got lucky. Oh no.
Okay, here's one. I got a question for you. So we're doing a lot of draft questions. In the 21st century, so 2000 and on, name the two players the Jets drafted from the University of Utah. So 2000 and on, they drafted
Sione Puha.
Puha, yes.
Puha. Got you all in check. Little Busta Rhymes.
2005, third
Two
round.
players
right.
from Utah.
There's one other
Two
Utes. So there's
players from
two
Utah.
Utes. We got the two Utes. This is the two Ute questions.
All right. So Puha was one. Utah.
Utah. Oh, now I get it. Yeah. This one's going to be a little more. You got the easier one. I'll give you. I will let you know that.
Yeah.
The other one's more recent. You want me to narrow it down?
Yeah.
Was kind of using a similar role to Daryl McGlover, as a matter of fact, but sort of defense special teams guy.
Eric Smith?
No. Wild Wave says how far back? Within the last, I don't want to give right away, the last 15 years.
Defense, Hank. I know. I just saw your comment come in.
Yeah, D. He was here he was actually here for a little bit. Not a very, put it this way, his name is not on the wheel. He is not on the 100 Jets wheel, I can assure you. I don't think he ever will be.
Superfan says Guidry?
Javelin Guidry, no, it's not Mike DeVito. I'll give you one more clue. I think this is going to help. The Idzik 12.
Quincy Enunwa?
No, Quincy was offense.
Who else from that draft ever made it?
I didn't say they were great players, but there's
I
some
thought
guys.
they were all out of the league like instantaneously.
Well,
Hank says Hamza?
you had Dakota Dozier. He hung around a long time. Dakota Bulldozer.
He was a guard, though, right? He was a lineman.
He was a guard, right? But there was one player who was drafted. Yeah, this was 2014. So that would have been the how's that? It's at 12.
Lee Cravette.
Lee Cravette, exactly.
John
I'm going
Stockton.
to look him up real quick just to see how long he was a Jet. I want to look this up.
I don't know. You give us the name. I don't think anyone's going to pull that name.
I will in 1 second. Drafted in the 7th round, 2014. Played with the Jets for 2 years, and he actually went to the Patriots and the Dolphins. Not helping? He did go to the Salt Lake Stallions for the Alliance of American Football, and now he's actually coaching now with Deion Sanders in Colorado. So he is actually, he's the special teams coordinator at Colorado now.
I don't know.
The answer is Trevor Riley. Went a little deep on that one. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a.
Yeah.
I know the name when I heard it, but I would have never pulled that name ever.
I remember one night. Yeah,
I consider myself to be above average with trivia.
That was good. Yeah, I remember one night with on the old show, the Thursday show, when I was guesting there, we would do one night. I said, name the entire Idzik 12, and they got it. It was like pretty quick too. So they got through about 8 or 9 pretty fast. The last 3 were like a minute later. But yeah, they named them all, including Trevor Riley. So,
wow.
Yep, Snowball Riley. That's right.
Really, Riley?
So there we go. Let's take the helmet off. There we go. All right. Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, if anybody's a hockey, for the hockey fans out there, the trade is official. So the Pittsburgh Penguins have traded Jake Gensel to the Carolina Hurricanes. So it is Gensel and Ty Smith to the Hurricanes for Michael Bunting, 3 players whose names I can't pronounce, a first-round pick and a 5th-round pick. So the Hurricanes have loaded up, and I would say right now the Rangers, Chris Drury's got till 3 o'clock tomorrow to get a right wing to play on the first line, because the Hurricanes just became maybe the odds-on favorite to win this division. So
I got a trivia question for you.
Okay.
This year, the New York Jets are expected to draft some offensive players. They had a draft in 2001 where the first 3 players they selected were offense. Can you name those 3 players?
Okay, so that would have been the year after Ellis, Abraham, Chad, Becht, and Coles.
And all 3 players, contributors. Yeah. 01 was I think a for the Jets, a very, very good draft for the Jets.
Santana Moss?
Correct. First round pick from Miami. That's what triggered my head, that draft.
Okay. Yeah, so I definitely remembered Moss. You said the first 3 picks, right?
First 3 picks, first, second, and third round,
were
all offensive players.
Okay, I know it wasn't Randy Thomas because he was the first pick they had one year. Jason Fabini was a 7th round pick. It wouldn't have been either of them.
Put it this way, 34 years of service in the NFL between these 3 guys. Wow. So 3 names. Like, this is not like schlubs or guys who, it's not a Hackenberg. Lamont Jordan was the 2nd round. Yep, super fan for New York Jets super fan had him.
Oh, yeah,
right as you said it.
So, yeah, I'm not looking at the chat.
Lamont Jordan is number 2.
I don't want to.
Santana with 14 years. Lamont with 9. This next guy had 11 years in the NFL.
My first thought was it wouldn't be
11 years in the NFL. A starter.
Leon Washington? No,
nope.
No,
he was starter. Leon Washington was way after that.
He was like 4th round. Yeah, it was like a 4th round pick anyway.
He was 4th or 5th.
Yeah. I'm trying to think the offensive line like in those years. I can't. Matt Slauson?
Nope. Much better.
I try to go a little obscure with
better. No, that's a good name. It's a good name, but much better than him.
Brandon Moore was not drafted. Obviously not Nick Brick. It can't be Thomas Fabini. It's not Mawai.
No, Fabini was 90s under Parcells.
Right. I'm trying to
Leon Johnson.
It was Leon Johnson?
No, Leon Johnson and Fabini were Parcells' like 2 good mid-round picks that he had gotten.
Oh, Leon Johnson. I still remember the halfback option pass. Oh dear, against Detroit. Oh my God. Anyway. Obviously not. It can't be a quarterback, I don't think.
It's an offensive lineman.
It is a
Very, very
Did
good.
he spend most of his did this lineman spend most of his career with the Jets?
He
Is
did.
that what he did?
There are a large portion of fans who want us to draft an offensive lineman from this same college this year. Not Mangold. Mangold.
Kareem
was over-
McKenzie.
Kareem McKenzie.
Kareem McKenzie. I remember the intros on ABC. Kareem McKenzie, Penn State. I remember it.
Yep. Like, when does the last time you saw the Jets draft 3 players in a row that stuck in the NFL?
The year before that, 2000. Actually, no, in 06. Well, they had Nick and they had Brick. Who was the next pick after Ferguson and Mangold in that draft? Can we look that up? I think that'd been 06, right?
It was.
Yeah. I'm curious who the next pick was in that draft.
All right, let's play that game.
Oh, jeez. What did I just do?
Leon Washington was in this draft. He was a 4th rounder.
That was a
We
good
had
draft.
2 1s, a 2, 2 3s, 2 4s.
Wow.
2006 draft, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Hawk, welcome. Brad Smith, 4th round. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 picks in the first 4 rounds. Name them. Hey, Patty, welcome.
Patty Grimes.
2006 draft, we had 7 picks
All right.
in the first 4 rounds, because after
So-
that, you're not going to know the names.
So we know Ferguson, Mangold, Brad Smith, Leon Washington. So that's 4.
Ferguson, Mangold, Brad Smith, Leon Washington. That's 4. You have 3 more. It was a 2nd round pick, a 3rd round pick, and a 3rd round pick.
Superfan says Kellen Clemens.
Correct.
I think he's right. Yeah.
Correct.
Very
And
good.
the first 3 picks in this draft, ironically, 33 years of service in the NFL. Kellen Clemens hung around the longest of 12 years. Kerry Rhodes was not in this draft. Good guess, though, Mark. I think Rhodes was 05.
And I think Eric Coleman was drafted kind of later, like 5th, 6th round. I think he was
Drew Coleman.
Drew Coleman.
Drew
Okay.
Coleman.
So Drew Coleman was one of the 7 also? Or
Nope, he was in the
was
6th
just
round.
later? Okay. I was thinking
Jason
that was Coleman.
Pizziak, Drew Coleman, and Titus
Jason-
Adams for the last 3.
Jason Posacek or Posacek?
Yeah, Pociask. I couldn't
Yeah,
say that.
I knew the name because I've looked at the list before. I couldn't tell you the first thing about
Played
it.
in the NFL as long as I did.
Mm. Well, then your pension should be about the
Yep,
same.
he did. Super fan again. He didn't say the name.
Anthony Schlegel? Is that
Yeah.
the linebacker?
Yeah,
Was it Schlegel? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And
Because
there's
I remember I
one,
wanted to attribute 2 players from Ohio State in that draft, Mangold and Schlegel.
yep. And then there was a defensive back who I mentioned earlier.
And there was a defensive back who you mentioned earlier? Oh,
Yeah.
So that trade's official. Yeah. And I'm sorry, was this like in the 06 draft we said?
Yeah, this is the last guy missing from the
Eric
draft.
Smith? Eric Smith?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
God.
Something we did not know.
2007 draft only brought us Darrell Revis, David Harris,
And Jacob Bender.
Jacob Bender, and the 7th round receiver. I believe.
Chad Schillen.
No, a 7th round receiver. I think he was from Clemson.
Was it? It wasn't Chad Schillen. Wait. I thought it was Chad Schillens. That
What
was
he
the,
played for Clemson?
I'm
Yeah, he
positive.
did play for Clemson.
Yeah.
Chauncey Stuckey.
Stuckey. Okay. I knew the CH. I had that in my mind. Okay. Stuckey. Okay. Yeah. It was right. And then he went to the Raiders afterwards. Okay. Now we're just showing off. All right. Cool.
Wow.
Let me see if I can find one more here.
This is 2008 draft. Vernon Golston, Dustin Keller, Dwight Lowry, Eric Ainge, no relation to Danny, Marcus Henry, no relation to Mark Henry, and Nate Garner, no relation to Nate Newton.
That's
We've had some fucking horrible. You know what? Though? I would love to go look through other teams' draft histories and see how many misses they had.
Okay, I'll give you one
What's
question.
up, Dino? Thanks for joining us, bud.
Have a good one.
Yeah,
I'll give you one more question.
Literally, I felt like I just walked through a cemetery and was reading random names. That's perfect, Dane. Great reference.
Memory graveyard. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to give you guys one more question tonight. This is not going to be a draft question so much, but it's going to be about the 2023 Jets. Name
Hold
the
on.
two.
Hold on. Don't give it yet. Give that premise again.
All right. So this is not going to be about the draft, but it's going to be about the 2023 roster. There you go. All right. Hey, I got my sound effects too. But all right, name. Hit the pause button, Nick.
No, it said rock. I thought it was like somebody throwing a rock at somebody. I just didn't know it meant rock.
The
music.
Rock says this. Anyway.
If I ever start making enough in super chats, I want to have like $500 Versace shirts on. I don't. I don't pay more than like $20 for a Walmart shirt. I would never do that.
If I had that much money, I'd have everybody just turn. That's some schlub turn the computer on for me. Oh my god! All right, all right. Here's the question: name the two Jets from the 2023 roster who were undrafted free agents that played at the University of Illinois.
University of Illinois undrafted free agents.
Superfan, it is not Rodgers and Hall. Not quite.
Lazard?
Nope.
I'm trying to think of guys who are undrafted.
Jets fan 4 says Jason Brownlee. No, it's not Jason Brownlee. Dino's got one. Hey, Dino. Yep, Dino's got Dino, a late arrival to the show tonight. He's got that one right. Yes. So, yep, Tony Adams is one.
Quincy?
No, it is not Quincy Williams. Hank G says Bryce Huff. No, not Bryce Huff. It is not Gibson.
Hardy?
It is Justin Hardy. Went to the University of Illinois and was not drafted. So Adams and Hardy. There you go.
That's a nice one.
Yeah. I like do it. Yeah, that's like one of my favorite ways to find a question. It's like name the player, name the only player in this team who went to this college or something like that. So stuff like that's fun. All right. Yeah, most of the time it's just like how you word it, so it's like a fair question, not too easy, not too challenging. So
nice. You how much time you got left?
Just a minute or so. It's almost midnight. I've got like a minute or two. I think I'm ready to. On my end, I think I'm gonna have to wind it down. So
all right, I was gonna say the magic word.
Yeah,
I was gonna tempt you with the magic word.
5
letters. It's on after Jeopardy, and you can spin it.
If you're good at arm. Okay, so I would have to, let's see, I would have to present my screen. Let me see what I could do here. Okay. And yeah, let's just do the 100 wheel. Yeah, we'll just do the 100.
We'll do a speed version.
Okay, we'll do the speed. Yeah, do the speed round.
There you go, Hawk. There you go, Hawk. I knew he would be interested in saying.
Yeah. And if I could give a very shameless plug, Jets Mess is the right now a member. And when you become a member on my channel, you get emojis. And there is a Jets wheel emoji. There's also a wicker chair emoji.
Good night, Mark. Mark, did you ever pick up my hint before? Just text me, Mark.
All right.
I can't say that on there. I say a lot on there, but I can't say that on there.
No, we cannot do that. Okay, window. Let's see. Edge tab. Draft.
I'm going to do this.
All right, I think I'm about there as the effort blue blockers pops up. Nice. There we go. All right, should have the wheel ready to go. Should come up any second.
No mock this week. Maybe Sunday night. No, Sunday night I can't do mock. Oh, real quick, while I got you guys here. Sunday night is a very special show. Sunday night is to the day 1 year sober for me. I have a spectacular night planned for you guys. Gonna have different guests coming on every 15 minutes throughout the night. Adam will be there. Italy Jet, Gunny, my friends Lamar and Jamel that I host the IOW show with are going to pop on. Dom will pop on. Matt O'Leary will pop on. Green Bean will pop on. So Tigo will be here. Jeremy will be on throughout the night if he can. I know he's in New York. If they don't have any plans, he's going to try to co-host for a little while. So, yeah, check it out Sunday night, guys. It's going to be a real big show.
Going to be an
I got to retake the air brakes.
Well, we're asking Nick, how you making out with the CDL? How we doing?
I did. I got 40 out of 42 with the general knowledge. I zipped through that. I did really well. And then I did the combination, and I got 16 out of 18. And then I got the air brakes, and the first 2 I got wrong, and you can only get 5 wrong. And I panicked after that, and I was more doing the math than I was reading the questions. So I will fully admit I panicked a little bit, and it came down to the last one, and I was in like fucking like crazy mode. So I go back next Thursday for the air brakes, but I'll be fine. I'll eat that shit. I can't leave until St. Patrick's Day anyway, the 17th. So going back next Thursday. I just need to have paper in hand when I get there. But thank you. Yeah, I'll get it. The first 2 questions we never even went over, like in class. And of course, those were the first 2. And then my mind was spinning after that. I know I seem like a cool, calm dude here, but I do get a little panicky. All right. Let's rock.
Okay, guys. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to spin the wheel. We did it last night, and well, it didn't go quite as well as we wanted. We had to wind up putting Dwayne Robertson in the number 4 spot and Derek Mason in the number 5 spot.
That's fitting because Dwayne Robertson was drafted number 4 overall.
Which is horrifying. Yeah, and we gave up a 4th-round pick along with 2 number 1s to actually get him. Thank you, Terry Bradway. But anyway, that aside, everything else went well. So we're going to spin the wheel 10 times. I think just about everybody knows what we're going to do. We're going to spin it 10 times, and we're going to create a top 10 list of Jets. We got to rank them in order. As we spin the wheel and land on a player, we got to assign the number. So, chat, that is where you come in. So after we land on the player, you tell us what spot you believe that player is going to belong in. We've got Hall of Famers. We've got all-out busts. So let's see what happens. I may add Jason Posacek to this wheel next time. You never know. But all right, Nick, are you ready to go?
Let's rock it, bro.
All right, who are we going to land on? We like to make these predictions sometimes.
Hold on real quick. So eternal question. Well, for CDLA, you have to get general and then air brakes and combination because the linking up to the trailer. And then after that, you can do other endorsements like passenger and hazmat down the road. I think you have to have your CDL for a certain time before you do hazmat. I'm not sure about that. We didn't discuss that. Give me Tim Tebow. That was the first name I saw.
I'm going to say because he just saved somebody's life, I'm going to go with Braylon Edwards.
Nice. Kudos to him, too. Good job.
Yeah. All right, here we go, guys.
And he'll get sued. Watch. He'll get sued for putting his hands on the guy.
Right.
That's how it works. That's why you should. I mean, it's a great deed, but he will. That's how the world works.
Oh, boy. Well, you know.
And
Wild
Wave.
30. All right, guys, here we go.
Hit me up. DM me your contact info on Twitter, Wild Wave, and I'll get in touch with you and we'll talk.
All right.
It's long overdue anyway. Go ahead, Adam.
Spin number 1. Here we go. And it's coming to a stop on. This is a pretty good way to start. Aaron Glenn. Very, very, very good cornerback in Jets history. All right, Nick's going with a 4. All
I'll
right,
go
chat.
4.
Wow, we got a nice turnout tonight. Where would you rank Aaron Glenn on this top 10 list? Where would be an appropriate number for number 31?
And for those who don't know, it's blind wheel. So
Yep.
we don't know who else is going to come out next. It could end up with Tim Tebow being number 1 or Darrelle Revis being 10 based on the positions that are open.
That's right.
I think 4 is good for Aaron Glenn because he's not the greatest, but there are a lot of awful names on this list.
Yeah,
And I think there's more awful names. The percentage of names that are worse than Aaron Glenn left on the list are less than the names that are better. So I think 4 is okay.
Yeah, he's never going to make the Ring of Honor. But a good, solid, reliable Jet. I think like a 4 to a 5 is a good place for him. Right now, the Jets seems to be leaning towards 4. Jets Mess has him at a 3. Mark has him at a 6. A little bit of a tougher critic. I guess think about Mark Ingram in the Spike game when Glenn was standing by the house at the side of the road.
So we got 8 votes and a total of 33 divided by 8. It's 8.18. It's 4.18.
I mean, if we're gonna get mathematical with this shit,
Yeah,
right.
well, all the numbers came in a row, so I just started trying to figure out the average, and the average is 4.
I started doing it last night, but it was pretty challenging with some of them. We had one player who got everything from a 4 to a 9. It was crazy what we were getting, and then we got some of the tough ones like Mo Wilkerson came up, and that's always a challenging one. So all right, we're gonna make Aaron Glenn number 4, and I'll give us recaps throughout as we go along. All right, here we go. Spin number 2. I'm gonna say we land on. I'm feeling a lot of mediocrity tonight. I'm gonna say Richie Anderson.
I'll go Plaxico Burress.
Plaxico Burress. Okay, here we go. Spin number 2.
And we're doing the speed version. Sorry for those in the chat if you're trying to put your guess in.
Ooh, okay.
Just mentioned him.
Yeah. Very good, productive tight end, but was out of the league relatively quickly because he did get hurt, did catch a few touchdowns in the playoffs, but didn't always know where the first down marker was as by opening night against Baltimore.
Give me an 8. 7 or an 8, I think. I'm thinking 7 or 8. We got to leave 9. I don't think he's that bad, but he did have that great touchdown against the Bengals, and we don't have many playoff moments, so I think that I'll go 7 because I think it moves him up a little bit, but he doesn't have great numbers.
Yeah, I think so the chat is leaning between 5 and 6 right now. I'm thinking a 6 is a pretty fair spot for Keller.
Really?
Yeah, I'm willing to go 6 because when he did play, he was pretty good. And then again, I think that does speak to the absolutely anemic history at tight end that the Jets do have. That Dustin Keller, maybe the second or third best tight end in the history of the franchise.
241 catches, 17 touchdowns in 5 years. All right, I'll go 6 or 7. I don't know if I think I'll go 7.
Good, but he didn't have a touchdown this year, So
I'll put my vote as a 7. I don't think I can go as high as 6.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of things.
I have a feeling we're gonna get. Yeah, Hawk, I'm expecting a run of terrible players. Well, we are doing a wheel of Jets. So
Hawk just changed his vote from 5 to 6 guys. Only vote once, please. Thank you.
We have 4 great players, and then we have 96 terrible players on here, Hawk. So
but I did remove Dimitri Patterson, just for the record.
Nice.
All right.
So did the NFL.
You're not wrong.
All right.
I think right now the chat is kind of leaning towards
7, 6. I say 7 also.
Yeah.
I think 7's win it.
Okay. Yeah, I think so too. I think that's I think I would have gone 6 myself, but all right. Majority rules, so we'll go with a 7 on that one. All right. Maybe that'll work out. Maybe it won't. We will find out. Okay. So for spin number 3,
Jeff Cumberland.
Jeff Cumberland. I'm going to go, you know what? I'm going to go Tremaine Johnson. I think it's time for a bust. Here we go. Ooh. Spin number 3. And we're going to land on, oh boy, Ryan. Oh, this is gonna be a tough one. Ryan Fitzpatrick. Okay, well, I think he had 2 years with the Jets, and in 1 year he basically rewrote the Jets single season passing book. Had some contract issues, and then we all know what happened week 17 in Buffalo, and then after that it was never the same for Fitzy. But hey, the beard is pretty fantastic. All right, guys, where are we going to put Fitzpatrick? 5, 6, maybe even.
And remember,
8?
it's just as a Jet.
Just as a Jet, right? Hawk actually giving him a 2. Wow. Hawk really high on
He's just saying how many seasons he played with the Jets.
that. Yeah, that would be accurate. All right. Right now, I'm seeing a lot of 5s, an occasional. Dino, we can't use 7. Dustin Keller has already taken spot number 7, so 7 is now off the table.
All right, so let's weigh this out.
Yeah.
Is he a better Jet all time than Dustin Keller? Dustin Keller with a playoff touchdown in Cincinnati.
It's tough. This is
Ryan Fitzpatrick kept us out of the playoffs with throwing to every Buffalo fucking defender. I'm putting him at 8.
I cannot put Ryan.
That factors into me. We win, we're in. And he blew it. He choked.
He did. It
I
would have been
can't put
a
him
big
above
game.
Keller.
Revis
Keller
Little
performed in a
and
playoff
Watkins,
game.
but-
I think Keller performed in. Didn't Keller score in a Charger game too? Doesn't Keller
Oh yeah,
have two?
he absolutely did. Yep,
He
did.
scored. Sanchez threw it to him in San Diego also.
He did.
Yeah, I
So-
can't put him above Keller. Keller's got 2 playoff touchdowns. As a Jet, Keller was a better Jet than Ryan
5,
Fitzpatrick.
6, 8. Right now, I think we're leaning towards. I think he's actually going to get the 8 spot here. I mean, Hawk's trying, but I don't know. Yeah, this is one of those players you want to get at the very end of the wheel when you have like 2 options to choose from. But to get Ryan Fitzpatrick at the beginning, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, Hank. But let's be realistic. It's the Jets' passing record.
It's like being the most attractive one on The View. Okay, it doesn't mean much. All right, I'm seeing a lot of 5s, a couple of 6s. I think he's going to be in that 5-6 range, really. I don't know if we're going to put him at 8. Nick, what do you think? I'm thinking as I'm looking at this, I'm seeing that 5 to 6 right in smack dab in the middle here. What do you think?
I can't put Fitzpatrick there. I watched my kids cry at Chili's in Edison, New Jersey, when Fitzpatrick kept throwing it to the Buffalo defenders. So
I have
and then I
would-
get brought. My kids remember this. They don't ever listen to a fucking thing that I say, but they will remember. Daddy, you told us that day when we were crying we would be back, and the Jets haven't been anywhere near the playoffs since that day. So fuck Ryan Fitzpatrick. Go hang out with the Buffalo fans. You were a plant, and you ruined my life.
9 years later, we're still dealing with it. Wow.
So good. That was back in the day when Megan and other people bartended there, and I would have 15 beers, food, and have an $8 bill.
Mark, the Chili's in Edison, that was where I went for dinner the night the Rangers won the Stanley Cup, June 14th, 1994, and the waitress was taunting me saying they weren't going to win. I still remember going to Chili's that night.
Oh, yeah?
I remember.
For those that don't know, Adam and I did not know each other growing up, and we grew up half a mile from one another, right off of Wood Avenue on the Woodbridge-Edison border. I was in Island. He was in Edison, and we were born in the same hospital. And this all kind of came into fruition like 2 years ago on a Friday night hangout.
Just imagining what it would have been like. I'm glad we didn't know each other because I'm pretty convinced you would have beat the shit out of me a couple of times, quite often.
I still may have. Who knows, man? Well, you were off of Livingston.
Nobody did, but you would have tried to. No, I dealt with some people, but no, I was never.
You were off of Livingston Ave, right?
I was right by. I was on if you know Woodbrook Corners by Woodbrook Elementary School, Woodrow Wilson, like near Route 27. I was right off. I was right in that area, that whole subdivision area.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, Mark, are you a JFK baby too?
Yeah. Yep. He is. Nick's got, I believe, got a few years on me. I believe.
Yeah, I'm 45.
Yeah, I'm 43. Almost 40. I'm 42 still. 42 for another couple months. All right, we got to make a freaking decision on Fitzpatrick. On that note, all right, I'm gonna put. I feel like I just got to make a call on this one. I just got a feeling we're gonna get 3 Jets who are gonna be worse than Dustin Keller. So I'm just gonna put Fitzpatrick at 6.
All right.
So I'm just gonna make the call on that one. Guy, I know we got some 8s, but I saw some 5s as well. I saw some 6s. I know this is a tough one, but I just had to make a call on that.
I want to make this
Wild
clear.
Wave, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I want to make this very clear that I am doing the rest of this wheel under protest.
Again. All right. Dwayne
See?
Robertson. Oh God, two nights in a row for Dwayne freaking Robinson. And that's why I put Ryan Fitzpatrick at 6.
His name is longer than
Dwayne and fat ass Robertson.
his name is longer than the contribution list that he's done for the Jets. I'll go 10.
Oh my gosh. I still remember
If we get a name
WFA
that's worse than Dwayne Robertson, it'll be funny to put them ahead of him.
It will be. I still remember a WFAN rant the night that the Jets lost to the Cowboys, and this was when the Cowboys had Parcells, and he said, "Are you kidding me? Has anybody seen Dwayne Robinson, the great defensive tackle who's going to make everyone forget about Merlin Olsen and Mean Joe Green and Bob Lilly? Because I sure as hell haven't seen this guy. The Cowboys rushed for 202 yards." Troy Hambrick, 127 freaking yards on the ground. Are you kidding me? I remember that ran on Dwayne Robertson. I never, ever forgot it. All right, so.
I can tell you the day that happened.
That felt good.
Do you want to know the day that happened?
Oh, were you in Chili's that night too?
No, I was in JFK Hospital, September 28th, 2003. It was the day that I fractured my ankle in 2 places going into the game. Never made it into the game.
I remember you told me that story. Yeah.
September 28th, 2003. If you look that up, the Jets played the Cowboys. Quincy Stewart was the quarterback.
Quincy Carter?
I think it was Quincy Carter and Drew Henson, I think was the game.
Yeah. Mark, yes, Vernon Golston is available on this wheel. Yes. I would put, Robertson is definitely either a 9 or a 10, and right now 9 is winning. So, all right, I think we got to go. I think I'm leaning 9 for Dwayne Robertson. How do you feel about that?
I'm okay with that, I guess. 9 or 10, it's obvious.
Yeah, I'll go 9. I'm gonna go 9. I mean, he played with the Jets for a couple of years. I think it was there like 2-3 years, so I'll give him that much. Yeah, I still think we might get one on that level who could be worse. All right, so we have 4 spins done. Just a quick recap: Aaron Glenn at 4, Ryan Fitzpatrick at 6, even though that's under protest. Dustin Keller at 7, and Dwayne Robertson at 9. So we got to get some good ones here. Yeah, we got to start hitting it pretty good here. All right, here we go. Spin number 5. I'm going to go with Jericho Cotchery.
Foley Fatukasi.
Foley Fatukasi, maybe a future Jet. And we are going to land on Vinny Testaverde. All right, another quarterback. All right. Well, we know Vinny got us the AFC Championship game. He did have, I think, 2 stints with the Jets. Yeah, I remember he was back. He was still backing up Chad for a little while. So he had the one great year, but, it wasn't he was like a little bit better than Fitz. I mean, he had that one year where the team was really good, but other than that, it wasn't. And there was the Monday Night Miracle. He was quarterback for that, so you got to keep that in mind too. But definitely in the top 5.
Well, if Aaron Glenn's 4, I think Vinny is a better Jet than Aaron Glenn was.
I think so too. I don't think I could make him number 1. Mark's got him at number 1. I can't go that far. I would go, I think 3 is fair. I would go 3-2.
We still have a lot of spins left. I'm comfortable with that. And the greatest thing he ever did was telling the NFL we're not playing on Sunday after 9/11.
That's a good point. Speaking of which, jinxes are not real. We don't think. All right.
Here I am giving Vinny credit for telling the NFL we're not playing after 9/11, and then he hurt Rodgers.
It's all Vinny's fault.
I think 3 wins it. 3 is loaded up in the chat.
Every time I see his name, I think of Vinny Testas, which was an Italian restaurant in the Boston area. I was thinking Vinny Testas. That was a good place. They bring out the roasted bulb of garlic at the table with the focaccia bread, so you get a whole bulb of roasted garlic for free. So good, so good. All right, we are halfway home, guys. We have filled spots 3, 4, 6, 7, and 10. All right, so we still got a good variety.
Calvin.
We've got spots 1 and 10 left, so that's good.
Calvin Pace. That's my guess.
I'm going to say, somebody who I don't know if we've ever landed on before. I'm going to go with Jamal Adams. Why not? Here we go. Spin number 6. And it's coming to a stop on Lavernius Coles. Excellent wide receiver, 3rd round pick. I got to tell you, I think I would put Lavernius ahead of Vinny in this spot. I can't put Lavernius behind Aaron Glenn. I don't think I could do it.
No, I'm okay with Coles at 2.
Yeah, I would go Coles. I hope he makes it into the Ring of Honor one day. I don't know if he will, but yeah, I think I would put Coles at number 2 here. Yeah, looks like the chat for the most part is agreeing. Mark, spot 3 is taken, so we would have to make Coles 1, 2, 5, 8, or 10.
459 catches, 37 touchdowns. I mean,
yeah,
I'm okay with him.
Yeah, I mean, the Monday Night Miracle was really like his breakout game.
2,000-yard seasons. There's only 4 spins left. I'm okay with him at 2.
I agree. All right. Hopefully he'll, I will say his podcast with
Not a great top 5, but I think they're close together. It's a tight bunch.
This is turning like into the wheel of mediocrity for the most part. The wheel of decent is what this is right now.
We need like a Marcus May here down at the bottom, or like a Buster Screen to just fill up the bottom a little bit.
That could work. Who else would work? Oh yeah, we have Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, that would work very well. I'm gonna say Le'Veon Bell. All right,
I'm
here we
gonna
go.
take Browning Nagel.
Browning Nagel. All right, spin number 7. Here we go. And it's coming to a stop on Kelvin Beachum. Okay, well,
what do we have? We have 1, 6, 8, 9.
I'll do the recap. All right. Number 1 is blank. Number 2, Lavernius Coles. Number 3, Vinny Testaverde. Number 4, Aaron Glenn. Number 5 is blank. Number 6, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Number 7, Dustin Keller. Number 8 is blank. Number 9 is Dwayne Robertson, and number 10 is blank. I think that's the only place to put him. Is number 8.
I think 8 is a no-brainer here.
It's got to be 8. Yeah. So 1, 5, 8, and 10 is all we have left. Beachum was just okay, and he's had a very long career. Just didn't have a whole lot of it with the Jets.
Yeah, but I mean, he's better than Dwayne Robertson.
Yeah.
If we get the fortune or the misfortune of the wheel and somebody good goes at number 10, it's a good laugh. Yep. But I can't right now with that spot open put him there.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. So we have spots 1, 5, and 10. So the top, the middle, and the bottom. This is going to be very, very interesting. All right, here we go. So with spin number 8, I think it's time to get a Hall of Famer. I say we get Joe Klecko.
Kevin Mawai.
All right, here we go. Spin number 8. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, and stop.
Jets, bro. It's all whammies.
It's Braylon Edwards. Oh, man. Well,
what is it? 1 and 5?
Yeah, obviously he's not going to be 10. I can't put Braylon. He wasn't a Jet long enough, really.
I'll put him at 5.
I got to put Braylon at 5.
That catch in it again. We don't have many playoff performances. I can't put him at 1, but I'll put him at 5. I think.
Yeah,
that was a memorable play. I think Jets fans still watch that play.
I was, as you know,
I see the highlight all the time. Mark Sanchez posts it like once a month.
I was there, and what a moment! Yeah, it was fantastic. Even the year before, I think Brad Smith threw the touchdown pass to him in the AFC Championship game, if I remember correctly. But yeah, Braylon, definitely. I think that's in between Aaron Glenn and Ryan Fitzpatrick. I actually think that's very fair. I really do. It's just a shame he wasn't here longer. All right, this is the first time in the history of the long, illustrious history of the wheel that we are finishing this off with spot 1 and spot 10. This has never happened before. I'm just going to ask you this. Are we going to which spot are we going to fill? Is it going to be the 1 or the 10, do you think?
I just can't wait to see Chris Herndon go in as the best Jet of all time.
I just can't wait for John Hall to slide into spot number 1. I had to. For those of you who know, you know. All right. Here we go. Spin number 9. And we're going to land on Ray Mickens. Another example of a decent Jet.
I'll put Ray Mickens. You know what? Let's have fun. Even though I'm a huge Ray Mickens fan, I think he's like, if you put together an all-time underrated Jet team, Ray Mickens is there.
Ray Mickens is there. Victor Green.
I'll put Ray Mickens at 10 so we can have fun with number 1 at the end. I think it's better content to have number 1 be open with all the late names that we have here.
All right, right now, number 10 is in the looks like he's going to go number 10. All right, Ray, if in the off chance that you happen to watch this, we apologize. Just nothing personal, brother. Okay, so number 10, Ray Mickens. Number 9, Dwayne Robertson. Number 8, Kelvin Beachum. Number 7, Dustin Keller. Number 6, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Number 5, Braylon Edwards. Number 4, Aaron Glenn. Number 3, Vinny Testaverde. Number 2, Lavernius Coles. By the way, I think if number 1 works out well, we reserve the right for 1 extra spin to replace Ray Mickens and find a complete bust. I think we have that right tonight. All right. So this is for spot number 1. I'm going to say
Christian fucking Hackenberg. Best wheel ever.
I'm going to say, just to rub it in our face, it's going to land on Zach Wilson.
All right, I'll go Hackenberg.
Hackenberg Wilson. All right, guys, here we go.
I think Ken O'Brien would be a legit number 1 with this list.
Mark, I'm glad you're enjoying this, man.
Wait,
all right,
Mark,
here we go.
Mark has wait, don't spin it. Mark has a good question. When we do the wheel on my channel, you've given me a mulligan. Am I allowed to have a mulligan here?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, if we had that,
Jamal Adams. Don't worry, if it's Jamal Adams, we'll
that will be the mulligan.
All right, I have mulligan power.
Yep, you have 1 mulligan.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the respect you have bestowed and the trust you've put in me.
Yeah, I don't
Can
know
anyone veto my mulligan?
We'll do 1 more spin.
Can anyone veto my mulligan?
What?
A super chat can veto the mulligan. That's it.
If you pick JoJo Townsell, then I would say yes. All right, here we go.
Great name. What a great name. I think that's the best name ever.
I know. It just ahead of Dick Curl. All right, spin number 10. We need help. Oh my God! Almost. It's JoJo Townsell.
Very good.
Mic drop.
I love the name. It's the best name of any Jet ever. But I will veto this. I will mulligan it and say, let's get another spin. Kudos to you for selecting it. That's more impressive than anything. But let's see who else we get. Go ahead.
Right.
I mulligan this one.
All right.
It's in the woods.
All right. We'll do 1 more spin, and you could replace either spot 1 or spot 10. I think because those 2 are like a little bit fugazi. All right.
No, this is going to number 1. This is
number 1? All right.
Yep.
Here we go. In 3.
Oh, I'm just erasing Townsell. So whoever gets this spot is 1. Respect to JoJo Townsell. I think he is just too legendary of a New York Jet to even be on the list.
Yeah. Scott, I just got to say real quick, we have not selected 1 single Ring of Honor member, and they're pretty much every one of them is on this wheel. So there's a whole lot of great Jets that we have not selected 1, I would say, all-time elite Jet yet. So maybe we will do it now. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, spin.
And I'm looking up JoJo Townsell because I need to get him as a guest.
Of course you are. We were 1 spot away from Joe Klecko, but we wound up with Santana Moss. Yeah, this was like the ultimate wheel of like good Jets, decent to good.
Yes, he's got a Twitter and only 166 followers.
Well, we got 17 in the chat right now. Let's make it 193 or 100. Yeah, 83. Excuse me. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, it's usually the last two spins that kind of mess everything up, and it looks like that's what happened again tonight. All right. So let me get out of that, and let's see. Stop screen. There we go. All right. That was fun. Yeah, I didn't know we were going to go like 2 hours tonight or whatever it was, but
Thank you, buddy. Thanks for
fun.
hanging out.
You're welcome.
I love that he's got 167 followers now after me, but he has his DMs turned off. Damn it.
Yeah. I always hate that. It's just like when somebody on Twitter in their bio it says no DMs, but then you go and their DMs are open. I'm like, then turn the freaking DMs off. Come on. Don't tell me you don't want a DM, but then leave it open. That's messed up. All right. So now I'm looking up JoJo myself.
Mark, if I can get him, I'll check his Instagram when I lay down. But all right, brother. Thank you so much.
Oh, here he is. Yep, 83. How does he only 167? Now it's 168. I got him. Oh, and I also have her. It says that I should follow the biggest Gabe Davis fan in the world.
Oh, Ledger.
Yeah. I put him on the wheel. Maybe I should do a wheel of Jets content creators on YouTube.
Oh,
shit! I should do that.
That's a great wheel.
Oh my god! Could you imagine?
That's a great idea.
I would do it. Oh my gosh, the venom that would come out. Oh boy.
Just to fuck with those with egos.
Because God knows they won't see it. Hey, Ryan, O'Leary, Jake, come on. We know you want to see this. Guys, can you imagine if I did that? Oh man, that'd be crazy.
Oh man.
I would do it, but we gotta like drop it. I gotta preview it. We gotta do like on a special night. Well, I don't know what the occasion would be, but we'd have to maybe like after the draft or something like that. That sort of a thing. Or you know what? If I'm doing Wednesday night, that's the night before.
You do it on your channel. I won't do it on my channel.
Right. Maybe I should do it the night before the draft starts.
People would not be talking about the draft. It's a good marketing strategy.
Oh my god. I don't know how many people outside of here know about the wheel, but oh my gosh, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. I can't believe I just thought of that.
Oh man. We would have to call that the wheel of butthurt.
Oh my! Imagine I put Narnia, Boy Green on there. Oh man, it would be so bad. Oh man, they'd be like, "Who the frick is this guy?"
And the
who is he?
The super chat challenge has begun. So Dano came up with a challenge that whoever gives the last super chat gets a spot on a future show. And Scott remembered. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it, bro. Spin this.
The three that did trade well ranked third for the Rangers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to go. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I appreciate Adam. Thank you for coming on, buddy. Thank you for being a guest on the Thursday Night Throwdown. Thank you, Scott, for the super chat. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out, either on my channel or Adam's. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you guys. Adam, go ahead, plug away before you go, brother. What do you got coming up?
NY Sports Wicker Media. We have just crossed over. Yeah, memberships are now open. Monthly memberships right now, $4.99 a month. Get some cool emojis, get some badges. We've got emojis for Aaron Rodgers, for the Jets logo, for the wicker chair, the infamous wicker chair right behind me, and the wheels. So now it's like a thing. When we do the wheel, it's like, let me see those wheel emojis. So it's kind of like a new fun little gimmick that we have. But I'm guessing the next few days it'll be there'll be some NHL trade deadline going on over the next day or two, since that's coming up on Friday. And next week on Wednesday's show at 10 o'clock, it will be the first day of free agency officially starting. So I think right now we're planning on a free agency recap, and we'll just kind of talk about that. Maybe I'll even have somebody on. We'll see what winds up happening. Just kind of depends how the day goes. So still kind of planning it, but I think we're going to talk free agency.
Yeah. Awesome. I mentioned it earlier for those who may have joined late. Sunday night, Sunday, March 10th, is 1 year to the day sober for me. So I'm going to spend the day with the kids. And then at night, biggest show I've ever done. I'm going to have Green Bean, Matt O'Leary, Dom, Lamar and Jamel, who I host on the IOW Sports Network with, Tigo, Gino Italy, Gunny, and then Adam. Adam, I got you coming on last because the show is scheduled for 2 hours, but you know how we go. It'll go later. And Monday, I don't have class on Monday. I got to wait till I get to my doctor appointment, and I got to go take the air brakes next Thursday. So next week is a home week for me. I might pop on live for free agency, so I'll take advantage of that with being home, and maybe 12 o'clock I'll go on Monday. I know some other people will probably go on, or maybe I'll team up with somebody. But thank you, Scott. Thank you, bud. Yeah. So I can't believe it's been 1 year. Crazy. 4-hour delay in Dallas.
Ooh. Hey, Elon.
Oh, you traveled?
Yeah, I must have.
Oh, jeez.
Where does Elon live? Do you know?
I don't know.
In the military? I guess he was in Dallas, and I guess he flew out of Dallas to wherever he was going. I'm assuming.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining, Adam. Thank you. You have a good night, buddy.
Have a good night, Nick. Thank you, chat. You guys were awesome tonight. We love
Later,
you.
pal.
Bye.
Jojo Townsell. And as always, 2 things to remember. Jeremy sucks. And be loud, be proud, New York Jets fans.